Hello, welcome to my very first video. We're going to make biscuits today. We'll see how this turns out. It's a really old recipe. You can either have it as drop biscuits or you can make it into the rolled biscuits. And I will have copies of this in the description box. The first thing you need is 2 cups of flour. And then you need baking powder, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, one, 2, and 3. And 1 teaspoon of salt. And then you can use a whisk, a fork, spoon, whatever you have. You can do this in your fancy mixer if you want, but you can just use a giant bowl. You don't have to have anything fancy. And then the old recipe calls for 1/4 cup of shortening, but you can use butter, you can use bacon grease, you can use lard, you can use tallow, whatever you have. I'm actually going to use butter. I like it better with butter. And let's see, 1/4 cup would be a 1/2 stick of butter. So let's just put that in. And I don't have a pastry cutter, so I'm going to use a fork. I'm just going to mix it all in together. And while we're doing this, the oven is preheating at 450 degrees. It looks pretty well mixed. Yeah. Then, if you want the drop biscuits, you'll add 1 cup of milk. If you want to do the rolled biscuits, which is what we're doing today, then you only add 3/4 cup of milk. Mix it up. And you'll start to get what looks like dough. And actually, at this point, I'm going to put my hands in it and I'm going to mix it with my hands. It works better. Or if you're using your fancy mixer, that works great too. I actually usually do it in my mixer. And you just keep kneading the dough like so. And you start to see a nice big dough ball is forming. Okay. Just kind of knead it. Doesn't feel sticky at all. It's not sticking to my hands. Okay. Now we'll move this out of the way. And it's time to roll it out. Now I have my baking sheet ready with some parchment on here. I have my rolling pin. And we're just going to put some flour on the counter here. And keep kneading a little bit longer. And now I have a nice little dough ball here. Now we can flour our rolling pin. And I actually don't have a biscuit or a round cookie cutter, so I'm going to use this mason jar. If you don't have a mason jar, you can just use a glass. Doesn't matter. Either one works. And we are going to roll these out. About a 1/4 of an inch thick. And so we have our biscuits. I'm going to go ahead and put them on the parchment on the baking tray. And you want to space them about 1.5 inches to 2 inches apart. The stove, put some more here. Okay. And it depends on what size glass you're using. Of course, if you use a big glass, they need bigger biscuits. I'm using a 1/2 pint mason jar, so they're a little bit smaller. Looks like I'm probably going to get about 14 biscuits out of this. Maybe 15. I think I'm just going to kind of shape this one into a biscuit. Not really enough to cut. Okay, now we're getting about 15 biscuits out of that. The oven is preheated to 450, and we're going to go ahead and put those in for 10 to 12 minutes. We'll be back. Okay, it's been 12 minutes. The biscuits are out of the oven. They rose pretty well. Like I said, they were small biscuits because I used a 1/2 pint mason jar. They are nice and flaky and done on the inside. Really easy, simple recipe, old classic recipe. Anyone can do it. And you know what's in there. It doesn't have any preservatives or anything. It's all natural. So that's it. That's how to make biscuits. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Okay.